Hi, my name's Richard Manton. Everyone knows me as Manny. I'm the Motorcycle Action Group rep for Leeds. I'm also the vice rep for Yorkshire.
I'm Foodie. I'm the rep for Huddersfield Motorcycle Action Group.
I'm Steve Travis. I'm the Wakefield Mag rep. I've been for, it's my 15th year actually. Basically, just let people know what Mag is doing nationally and regionally, but also represent motorcyclists in our own local area. So essentially work with the council, work with other bodies to make sure that Mag's views are put across. Essentially just representing motorcyclists in the sort of local area.
We've got a big project that's been going on for about 4 years now, and basically across West Yorkshire we've got 5 different councils, and they've unified their policy. They've unified themselves as one big organisation as opposed to the separate councils.
With the West Yorkshire Combined Authority, and they're the authority that do the sort of transport plans for the whole region, for the West Yorkshire region.
It was quite a scary situation, I guess. The West Yorkshire Combined Authority, which represents Leeds, Huddersfield, Kirklees, Wakefield, Calderdale, Bradford.
One of our members had noticed that there was some consultation out around the single transport plan, which would basically planning for the next 30 years for West Yorkshire.
And it's quite a comprehensive document, but it didn't have a single mention of motorcycles in there anywhere at all.
So we got in touch with the Combined Authority. We pointed that out in an appropriate way and just said, we are a third of the vulnerable road users as pedestrians, as cyclists, as motorcyclists. And the pedestrians and cyclists were mentioned, motorcyclists weren't. And from that, they took that on board, and we've now got a set of meetings coming up. So members from Huddersfield, Wakefield and Leeds Mag meet regularly with West Yorkshire Combined Authority, and then we can raise the issues that are pertinent to us as motorcyclists.
So we started working with them. We responded to a consultation of theirs, and it was a really big turnout actually. I think it was the consultation had about something like 11% of respondents were motorcyclists, but we actually only represent 1% of road traffic. So it's pretty good representation actually.
It's taken us 4 years to get where we are along this path, but we now have motorcycle liaison officers in all 5 councils. We've got the first bus lane that's been opened up to motorcycles in Wakefield, which is absolutely brilliant. That's hopefully going to be a rolling project. That way, when they change the signage, it's going to happen on each one. We're just getting there with this thing, but we're trying to make it fair. We don't want to be the forgotten third, and we've made some big leaps and bounds in the right direction, which has been absolutely brilliant. It's great to see that when you put the effort in, the councils will respond. We've got the silly situation where I think West Yorkshire is basically one big conurbation. There's no real distinct boundaries between different councils. I mean, there's an area just to the south of Leeds where you could be in one of any 4 councils within a square mile. For
the 5 council areas that make up West Yorkshire, there were different parking policies in each of the different authorities. So if we were in Huddersfield, you can park for free and time unlimited, whereas if you go to another council area, that might not be the same thing. So, and where the borders are, sort of in some of the outlying districts, it's quite easy in the town centres or the city centres to know where you are. But once you start getting across more outlying areas, then do you know whether you're actually in Kirklees, or have you just gone into Calderdale, have you just gone into Wakefield?
In some areas it's free, in some areas you've got to pay, in some areas there's absolutely no way that it's a flat level playing field. So what we've done, we've worked with the councils to have a policy that is across the board the same, and due to the efforts of MAG, it is free on-street and off-street parking throughout West Yorkshire now for motorcyclists.
I think if MAG didn't have a voice for the Combined Authority and the sort of consequent input to the planning for the transport around the region, we'd just be completely forgotten about.
It's not that they're being deliberately ignorant or actually, they're anti-bike. They're not. They just genuinely don't know. You can actually make the road narrower. The idea being to make it safer for one set of road users, but you get silly things like street sweepers can't actually sweep that section of the road because they genuinely can't get in there, which means it fills up with debris, which any cyclists that use it, they're going to get punctures all the time. So they don't use them. So it's absolutely pointless, and they spend millions on these things, and it's just literally just because it's not really properly thought through.
I think it's really important that MAG gets involved in this, because then the roads are designed for making it safer for everybody that uses the road. So we're not discriminating then against anybody else. We're not looking at making it safe for one set of road users to the detriment of anybody else. So, and that can only be a good thing if everybody's catered for. Because if you don't cater for wider vehicles, or you don't cater for pedestrians, or you don't cater for cyclists or motorcyclists, then it's going to be difficult for some people to get about. So the fact that MAG's in there and raising that awareness, I think, is really, really important.